Welcome to Manfeild Circuit, Chris Amon. For everyone here live trackside, great to have you here. And also on our live stream via SpeedWorks and YouTube. Joining us, we have Elton Goonan, who's done some racing in the Sanyong Utes before, and also a young driver. 18, 19, Peter Bogdanovich?
Yeah, 18. Yeah, thank you, Clint. It's great to be here. It should be a great race, yeah.
Out of St. Kitts, and what sort of degree are you doing now? What are you going to be starting this year?
I'm going to be studying engineering, so it should be super exciting and help with my race knowledge, yeah.
So, Elton, you've been racing these Utes before. What do you think? How suited are they to the track round here at Mighty Manfeild Circuit, Chris Amon?
It's going to be good because it's not the high-speed nature that we had at Pukekohe last time I joined you, which doesn't suit these cars, but the flowing nature of Manfeild here is quite good, and it'll keep the racing close. You got Christina or West starting on pole, so I think if she gets a good start, she'll manage it quite well. But they'll keep themselves all tight together around Manfeild here.
Yes, and of course the other star to watch out for, number 44. Todd Prugine did a 132.1 in qualifying yesterday. Had a few gearbox issues. He said it was basically stuck in third gear going down the straight. So they've been trying to tweak that for the racing this weekend. And he's one of the classic examples, number 44 out in the front of the field, of how you change your attitude when you go racing. So he says he's now 20, the chippy out of Pukekohe, and learnt a lot from probably being a bit aggressive in the early start of the series and over driving things, and now he's just chilled out a bit behind the wheel.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things. It's all good to go great guns, but the old saying is to finish first, you've got to finish. And I think he's definitely learnt from his mistakes in over the start of the season.
$50,000 prize pool up for grabs throughout the series in the Sanyong Action Racing Utes. Peter, you've had a crack in these. What do they like to drive?
Yeah, they're awesome to drive. The racecraft is great. I was actually fortunate enough to win the Sanyong Scholarship last year, so I had a good run in them, finished in the top 10. But yeah, I have to say a big thanks to Dion and Rick Cooper, who are the directors of Sanyong, and Mark Petch for helping me get the drive. But it's definitely an awesome class. I mean, bump drafting is a huge thing in these, which you'll see in only a year of racing before these guys started. So when I got my first bump draft, it was definitely a bit of a surprise. But yeah, awesome cars, and great to see them start ahead now. Rolling start, 6 laps. Here we go. The leader's out in front, 1, 2, 3 wide, going down towards turn 1 here at Manfeild. Around Toyota. Looks like they're clean at start at the moment. Prugine has the inside line as they whip around into 2 and then down through 3.
Looks like we're going to be getting 4 wide coming down through into Splash there as well, possibly. Kirk Stoneman's on the inside at back in 4th place there.
He's one of the guys that people know about when he's on the track. He's a pretty hard and tough racer, apparently.
Yeah, Kirk's been around for a long time. He knows all the tricks. Todd
Prugine doing a good job, though. He's really improved and been very, very consistent. Really enjoying his motor racing with his boss.
Yeah, like we said before, I think he's learned from his mistakes and realised actually that clean and tidy is actually the quickest way to be, particularly in these in a control class like this.
Enjoying the start. Was that always one of the issues for you, Peter?
Yeah, rolling start, so quite different to what we do now in the Toyota 86 series, but yeah, definitely the start is key. You just have to stay right next to the person in front and make sure that you don't leave any gaps, because with the Sanyongs you'll have your mirrors folded in by turn 1. So yeah, they're great.
So coming around to complete the first lap, and Christina Royal West, you've got to be careful cutting that corner too much, because if you get onto the grass it could be absolute chaos. And it's Prugine. He's got, the prudent line down to turn 1.
Yeah, no, he's definitely on the defensive down there, but Christina's trying to get around the outside. I don't think she'll do it this time. Maybe try and come up underneath him as we go into Splash, maybe.
Murray Brook, is he making a move down into turn 2 out of turn 1? He made that pass on Kirk Stoneman around Toyota.
Yeah, Murray's actually been one of the improvers this year.
He
really.
has, hasn't he?
He's come along leaps and bounds. I remember him a few years ago at Hampton Downs turning up with HQs, and see him being a competitive driver in the Sanyong series now is great.
So it's still Prue Jean, Christina Raw West, Murray Brook, Kirk Stoneman, Mark Mallard, who's the series coordinator, number 8. He's coming off a fantastic weekend of racing at Taupo, where he was doing all sorts of cars, 2K Cup and other things, and just doing a lot of driving, a lot of seat time.
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, you look at like what Brendan was doing a couple of years ago overseas. You know, he was driving pretty much everything he could get into, and it's seat time. And the two guys in the room here with me will agree. You know, the more time in the seat, the better it is, and the more racecraft you get.
Did you enjoy that, Pete? I mean, like just driving. The more you drove, the more you raced, the better you understood what it's all about. Or just
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the SpeedWorks Series was probably my first season of racing, actually, because I started on a PlayStation simulator, so I've come a long way since then. But yeah, it was just a great class to learn basic racecraft and learn to be able to stick your nose in and be brave, yeah.
Who's going to send it? Who's going to send it? Look at that. Christina Raw West. She was having a look around the outside. Now she's going to try and send it down the inside. This is one of our big sayings for the weekend. Who's going to be bold enough? Who's going to be smart enough to send it down for the makeable pass, or bold enough to go for the improbable pass?
Right. I know Mike Mallard is quite keen to get up there. Mike Mallard is a friend of mine from the 2K Cup, which is where I started, and he's also a sponsor for me this season. But I know Mike Mallard and James Watson, slightly further back in the field, they're having a good battle throughout the season, so it's great to watch.
What was it like when you went from a PlayStation onto a simulator onto the real thing?
Yeah, well, technology's like advanced quite a long way since a few years back. So it was actually quite. It didn't take too long to compare, my confidence on a simulator to on the real track, and I've just been fortunate to, learn all the generic skills before I actually got onto the track. So once I got there, I wasn't too far behind and just worked my way up and built confidence, and now we're running near the front.
Now, of course, Brendan Hartley, a full-time Ferrari simulator driver for F1. But, of course, in the real thing, you can't just reboot when you have a crash, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's a bit unfortunate. A bit like the start of our season. We're currently sitting 4th in the Toyota 86 Championship, but unfortunately we started off on a bad foot with a DNF. Unfortunately, we got taken out, but yeah, there is no restart button in the real thing, which is a shame, but it's just the reality. So,
but it's real, though, isn't it? It's you're alive. And I tell you what, Murray Brook is under all sorts of pressure from 22 Kirkstone, and these guys putting on a great battle, and right behind them, waiting in the wings, is your mate Mark Mallard. He's going to try and duck down the outside or do the crisscross round the inside and get that drive. Use these beautiful cambered corners here at mighty Manfeild Circuit Crusamon along the Dennyholm Straight as they charge up to Higgins.
Yeah, see Mark's tucked in quite nicely in there behind Kirk, and just behind Mark you've actually got James Watson sitting there as well, so it's a nice tight field actually. They're all pretty much on the internal straight there all together.
Good to see a lot of the drivers coming out of the last round of Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park carrying on from that form, the likes of Prue Jean, Orr West, Brooks, Stoneman, Mallard, Watson, Foster, Alex Sherry doing a great job getting into the racing. Quinlan from Australia, Northcott, Heaney a first timer, Vanderloos and the Saving Wild Ute, all about helping to save the rhino from extinction. Great job, great bit of marketing there, that number 51 use. Paul Holland, Charlotte Pointing out of New South Wales, Dean Foster.
And looks like we've got Mark Mallard's just getting up underneath Kirk Stoneman there as they come up the straight here, side by side.
He's making the big move. He's going to send it down the inside.
Absolutely, and the mirrors are folded back as well.
Nice.
So there you go. Behind the scenes, he's the series coordinator. Behind the wheel, he's loving his racing at the moment.
Absolutely, and you see that sort of bunch of 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th has all closed themselves up again.
Oh, the leader's having a go too. Christina Raw West doing exactly what Stoneman and Mallard are doing around 3. Oh, they've just run a bit wide, which you can do.
Yeah.
Coming out of 3 into 4. Prue Jean under all sorts of pressure from Christina Raw West doing the old driving in the rear view mirror.
Yeah, and that battle between Christina and Prue Jean up the front's actually slowing them down as a group, so it's actually allowing Murray actually to pull them back a little bit as well. So I think within a couple of laps we're going to have a 3-way battle up there.
She's had a look down the inside at Higgins, and no contact. 132.8, the fastest out there at the moment is number 4, Morgan Foster. 2 laps to go. Exciting racing. Sanyong Action Utes, opening race of the weekend. SpeedWorks Motorsport Championship. It's all on down the back straight. Look at Steinman.
Yeah, I think Mark might have missed a gear shift down there to have that much of a speed difference.
Mark's done that before. He's had an issue every once in a while.
I think
it just goes back slowly.
It's one of those things that as well as Mark's, like you say, Mark's jumping in a lot of different cars. So he's coming from a H-Pattern 2K Cup car to a sequential, and it's just changing that mindset of how you do those gear changes.
Last lap. Prugine down to turn 1 Toyota.
And
Mallard. Oh, James Watson's just gone completely haywire going into turn 1.
I think James is reminiscing his time in his Formula Atlantic a few weeks ago.
Prugine under pressure now. It's almost a 3-way scrap.
There we go. Murray's caught up with him beautifully through Splash there.
Oh, there's a move. Stoneman on Mallard. Mallard trying to come back. Prugine under pressure from Christina Raw West. Last chance to dance. Murray Brook looking for a place out wide, trying to get that drive from the inside of the corner. 3 of them almost not close enough for the old bump draft, are they, Peter?
No, not quite, but definitely the draft is a key thing in this class. So you can just see the top 3 really pull away. Even though they're racing, they've got the drafting against each other, so they are making some ingrounds on.
Nervous or excitement when you know you're on the last lap? The checkered flag lap and you're in the lead?
Excitement when you're in the lead, for sure. Yeah, definitely. We had a good race at Highlands in the 86 series, and we managed to get the round win, but we had Callum Hedge also from the Sanyongs right behind me the whole time. So yeah,
look at this, 3 wide. This is exciting. They're 3 coming out down the last corner. They're almost 3 wide going into the last corner. So it's Todd Prugine. He's going to hold on for a great performance. Christina Raw West comes home second. Murray Brook third. Look at this, side by side, down to the line. Stoneman gets up for 4th in front of Morgan Foster, I should say. Mark Mallard, James Watson, Alexander Sherry, Quinlan, Northcott, Henny, Vanderloos, Pointing, Foster. Good way to start the racing. What do you think, Elton?
It's a great race. Great way to start the racing for the weekend. Shows you how close this field is, really.
What do you think, Peter Vodanovich?
Yeah, the Sanyongs always put on a great show, so yeah, really stoked to be out watching them again, and hopefully I might be getting in one for the Pukekohe Enduro, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I was very impressed when you were racing out there, mate. You did a great job, and so you've done a bit of commentating here. You've been up here. You can see all the officials along here with the race timing and the officials, and so you've been behind the wheel. You've gone from, the Sanyongs now into the 86s. Did that sort of get you all sort of ready to go racing this afternoon for the 86s?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I've come a long way within 2 years of racing. I've classes within that 2 years, but yeah, it's been a and Sanyong definitely played a great part of it. So again, I have to say a big thanks to Dion and Rick Cooper and Mark Patch for helping me out with that Sanyong scholarship, and also Alex Whitley for her driver training, which helped me when I was just starting out. So yes, the Sanyong class is a huge class.
So you were fairly late to picking up motor racing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we didn't come from a racing background, so I started on simulators, which is quite unusual, and I just said, Dad, you got to get me into the real thing, and we ended up getting a Toyota MR2 in the 2K Cup, and went for a few scholarships and moved from there.
Great, because what they were talking about with a lot of the Toyota Racing Series drivers is a lot of our kids come out of karts. Murray Taylor said, why are we so good? Why are we so passionate? Chris Amon here, you got Denny Holm and Bruce McLaren, great names in New Zealand motor racing, the likes of Scotty Dixon, Brendan Hartley, now the new cream of the crop coming through. What's our passion? And they said, well, a lot of kids go into karting, they're into sort of Formula First by the time they're 12, 13, Formula 1600. So, but you didn't do that route, and here you are doing a really good job going.
Yeah. No, I had the love of it, on the video games, and go to the real sport, and just the excitement's, that much higher up. The adrenaline's definitely a huge thing of why I do it. And it's just a very rewarding sport because you've got so much on the line, and when it pays off, there's no better feeling.
What was your first win? What class? What car?
I was a Sanyong Series at Hampton Downs, so I started first and led it the whole race and just
So
defending and
started on pole,
Yeah.
defended all the way, and took the checkered flag.
yes, sir. So I was just keeping my eyes forward as much as I could and managed to get the first one. So I was super stoked.
And what was that like, that feeling?
It was great. Can't really explain it, but I mean, yeah, I was
You get that buzz in the pit of your stomach, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Definitely smiling.
Because that wasn't a simulation, that was the real thing.
Yeah. I was definitely smiling when I got out the car, and the whole family was, and I got a few pat on the back. So, yeah, there's no better feeling.
Well done, mate. From simulation to acceleration to exhilaration, you're doing it, and it's great that you're part of it. So thanks for coming up and joining us with the PA commentary team at SpeedWorks.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thanks, guys.
There we go. That's Peter Vodanovic and Elton Goonan. They'll be back for the next race for around about 5:30, Sanyong Action Racing Series. And also Callum Hedge will join us too, another one of the young stars using the Sanyong Action Series to groom his pathway to the top. So we'll look forward to you guys both racing side by side and no doubt hoping and racing in the 86s. Be great. Stick around. That's our opening race of the weekend. It's now time for the lunch break. The Lexus lunchtime rides will be on the track as well, and we'll be back racing around about 1:40 with the high Q components Formula first.
Good morning, fantastic. You'll see this to any on you. Doing time. Focus, you see. course, the Bonds Tasman District to help with evacuations as the huge forest fire is closer to the township of Wakefield. More than 2,000 people have been evacuated from Pigeon and Wakefield valleys. New South SpeedWorks Summer Series. Hundreds have been deployed from military camps around the country to come and help and accordance here on the ground. Residents have also been assured that these military personnel will be guarding the area overnight. This is out there to make sure that everyone is out of the area. National is accusing the government of not treating traffic congestion as an urgent problem. Transport spokesperson Paul Goldsmith says MPs have been told that quicker travel time is no longer on the priority list. Meanwhile, motorists travelling on State Highway 2 in Hastings can skip delays tomorrow morning after a logging truck crash today. A segment there at Feilding Settlement Road will be closed 4 hours from 9 o'clock. Britain's horse racing industry is on tenterhooks following an outbreak of equine flu. Owners are worried about next month's showpiece, the Cheltenham Festival, which has transformed 300,000 visitors. And in New South Sport, Lakehead's opening batsman Martin Gupta will have to prove his fitness before being confirmed for the upcoming one-day series against Bangladesh. Gupta was ruled out of the T20 series against India with a back injury. If past fit, the Auckland Aces opener will partner Canterbury batsman Ian Nichols at the top of the order. And playing Jordan and Papua is a pitch that he'll miss the Crusaders, but after signing a 3-year deal in English club rugby, he's willing to go all out in his final season with the champions. Ford with 115 litre and wide, delivering speed from its X34.
We know what's coming out of the real team when they're little extra counts, like the Starry AA 2008. Main 5 for the rest of today, just some light winds hanging around, so going through a high of 27 degrees. Tomorrow, pretty much exactly the same. 5 light winds and 27, a city main fine on Monday, 30 and 27.
All right.
maybe you know someone who does, and they watch the pig. Turns out some parents are starting to notice their kids are picking with it little actions after watching a fair bit of it. So, if you don't want your kids talking like that, it's probably best to get them outside for a play. Here's Wake Australia. This is 4 FM, non-stop 10.
Righto, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and race fans at Manfeild Circuit, Chris Amon. It's time to go racing. 10 races between now and basically 6 o'clock, counting down to our feature race this afternoon. Time to go around about 3:15, the Castrol Toyota Racing Series over 20 laps. But before then, we have 4 fantastic action-packed support races: Trade Zone GT1 and 2, Toyota 86 Championship, Trade Zone GT3, GT4, and first of all, to get us racing this afternoon, the High Q Components Formula First. Race 1 over 8 laps, and the grid was sorted out this morning with qualifying. Joining us is Sheridan Bonner from the team at Sabre Motorsport, one of the technicians who works on these cars. And what's the mood like amongst the Formula First team at the moment, Sheridan?
Yeah, afternoon, Clint. Afternoon, everybody. Everyone's pretty happy. Everyone just wants to we've had a nice big break since qualifying to the race, and everyone's sort of ready to rock and roll out there. A few people trying to chase some pace that they've lost since yesterday, but everyone's basically chasing Reece Hendelcox.
Yes, Reece Hendelcox, the 17-year-old from Whakatane, has a 20-point lead in the championship, and Chris Simon, the man who's currently in second spot, not actually in the best spot because he's back in, 4th row of the grid.
He wasn't very happy with his qualifying. He said he was a little bit down on power, and he's chasing it a bit. Give you an idea of how fast yesterday was. Reece Hendelcox was only a tenth of a second off the lap record,
which is
a 22.5.
Qualifying, he's done a 22.9. So getting very, very, very close. Brodie McConkey, a 22.9. Reece Hendelcox, a 22.983. Liam Foster, a 123.3. Thomas Boniface. Now there's a challenge, isn't it? In the Rookie of the Year Championship up against the Speed Sports Scholarship winner in Ronan Murphy, he has got the lead, did have the lead, and now Thomas Boniface has grabbed that off him by 14 points. So track conditions, it's fine and sunny on our way to 27 degrees, lovely and hot out there, beautiful day. And that breeze is just starting to get up just a little bit, not too much, from the old west-southwest prevailing wind around here. Isn't it?
It's unusual, this wind. We don't usually get it in the Manawatu, but lovely fine day, enjoying our summer, and it's going to be hot on track with the action from the Formula First. Hopefully we have a really good race with them today.
So the format for this is basically 8 laps, grid start. Big feature is all the slipstreaming and the drafting. Red lights are on, ready to go racing. Good clean start. McConkey, Hendelcox, side by side as they head down to turn 1 Toyota. Great sight here at Manfeild Circuit, Chris Amon. If you joined us on the live stream, great to have you with us.
Nice clean start there from everybody. Everybody sort of shadowing the front line, apart from, looks like Ronan Murphy's dropped out. He's had a bit of a muff start. I think I did see a bobble from Kyan Davies. He might be pinged for that. But nicely, cleanly through splash. Hendelcox, Brodie McConkey, who's back for this round in his car instead of lending it to Chris Simon. And the rookie with the orange number there, Thomas Boniface in 3rd.
So charging along the back straight, or the Jenny Holmes straight, before they go charging into Higgins and then down the back straight, nicely spread out. Feature of this racing is racecraft, slipstreaming, drafting, and it's not always about being the man in front going into that last lap, but at the moment it's 19. Reece Hendelcox, what a season he's had. He's really got momentum, isn't it? You look at a lot of championships and some kids just like Todd Prugene and the Sangyongs, you've got Jordan Baldwin in the 86s, and now you've got Reece Hendelcox here in the Formula First. He's just riding that wave at the moment, isn't he?
He's got a very good wave of momentum. It started at Pukekohe with a win under safety car, but as you can see here, he's not got it all his own way. He's got Brodie McConkey right up in behind him, just shadowing him there, and it's allowed all these other cars in behind to close up. So we might actually be on for a good race here, Clint.
Always on for a good race with the Formula First. These 1200 V-dub motors always produce great open wheel action as they slide and glide around turn 1. Few of them just getting a little bit wobble. One of them spun round down at turn 1 at Toyota, one of the green ones.
Looks like Nathan Sudiono. He's had a bit of a spin down there in the turn 1 calamity.
Got himself regathered. Now lovely, such a great track for these little cars, isn't it? Like they just flow around these corners around here.
It really is. Like we sort of call this the home of Formula First. Obviously it was first shown in Levin when Levin had a racetrack, and then it's come up here to Manfeild, and really Manfeild do wonders for us. We race through here in the winter, and during the summer they provide us, especially with this track, some excellent Formula First racing.
So that winter series, and there's spinner coming out of turn 4, number 21, Liam Nicholson. Got it going again. Yeah, that winter series is very popular. It's a great way to breed champions, isn't it?
Well, it's a great way. That's where Sabre Motorsport with the Speed Sport Scholarship starts all their drivers, and it's a chance where there's only sort of 10 cars where they can get suited to the car and the race lines and the racecraft, as Billy Fraser just about goes on the grass trying to pass Reece Hendelcox. And they really can cut their teeth in the winter series, and then they come to the national championship where it's pretty much all on, as we would say.
Flying through down into turn 3, McConkey, Reece Hendelcox, Billy Fraser, Thomas Boniface, Liam Foster, Chris Simon. Chris Simon, what's happened with him? He was the man who set pole on this track, started the series, won all 3 races on this track. Here he is back at P6.
So yeah, he won 4. Won 4 on the trot at here, and then at Pukekohe, and then obviously had that massive detonation down the front straight of his motor. They ran a motor in on the Friday here at Manfeild before Hampton Downs. It how would I say it? Didn't end the day nicely. Shot to Wellington, picked up Brodie's car, went and raced Hampton Downs, got 3 seconds, and now they've got a new fresh motor in there, and it's perhaps just a little off the pace. Maybe a bit of tuning in that is involved in that, and hopefully he'll be right back up there.
So Reece Hendelcox re-grabbing the lead from Brodie McConkey. They'll get swapping those leads and those changes. Thomas Boniface doing a good job moving up into 3rd. Billy Fraser and Liam Foster having a great little wee scrap in the rear. Look at little Billy in number 14 ducking down the inside of Boniface and snatches 3rd place. Good slipstreaming, good drafting.
It's great. The best thing about this track is we've got these 3 long straights that lead into slow corners. So we're drafting down the straights, we're braking into these corners, so we get not only the drafting but the under brakes moves, and it's really just a great way to show and to showcase these cars going around the track.
But it's also because you've got these lovely cambered corners. You've got that ability to really get that mid-corner speed and that drive out of... See how wide they went? They took the top line around the hairpin, didn't they?
Yeah, it can be actually a bit of a pain to set up the cars because we've got banking through Splash, the hairpin, Higgins and Go Media, and then Toyota's completely flat.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And probably one of the key corners into the long straight, turn 1.
Yep, so it can be a bit of a pain to set up, but we just sort of teach the drivers to get the rest of the corners fast, and the bum of the seat sort of has to deal with Toyota.
So there's McConkey regaining the lead. This is going to happen lap after lap after lap. They can't go over those ripple strips there. They can run 2 wheels onto them. Got to be careful cutting the corner down the main straight as well. You can't get onto the grass. We've had issues down there before in the past, and here they are, 2 wide going down into the non-cambered corner, turn 1 Toyota. And 48, Liam Foster says, thanks Billy, I'll do the slipstream, I'll take the draft and I'll pitch 3rd spot from you. And we've got a top 5 that have sort of cleared off nicely. All down the inside, Thomas Boniface in one of the 2 green machines. He's in the slightly darker green, and then the fluoro green is number 28, Chris Simon, the local man. Amy Smith coming in behind them.
I tell you what, you'd want to watch Amy Smith. She's just been clawing her way back onto the back of this pack, so she might make a move here towards the end. The front group are holding themselves up, allowing everyone to close up. Well, you saw a couple of laps ago, Chris Simon, he was back a bit, now he's right up with them again.
Ronan Murphy, the Speed Sports Scholarship winner, back in 9th at the moment behind 34, Ron Carter. And Craig Greenwood rounding out the top 10. There's Amy Smith, 55. Another one of the young female racers enjoying her pathway to motorsport. Down the inside, McConkey has a look going into turn 7. Reese Hendel-Cox has broken that slipstream in the draft, sweeping around this beautiful corner. Really flows onto the front straight. Little kink, cut the corner, straighten it up, take the inside line down to turn 1. McConkey's going to try and make the slipstream, and having a look down the inside. 48, Liam Foster, and he pinches second from Reese Hendel-Cox.
This is just fantastic. You can see there's not only the battle up the front, but there's battles down all the way down through the field. It's really great to see in this class.
Hendel-Cox coming back though as they float out into 3. The Lexus turn, great move. Pass and counter pass. Let's see what line they take going into turn 4. They're going around the high line. No one's trying to duck down and get, now they do, around that little part of the apex to get the drive. And then they're high and wide along the big straight. Chance now for more slipstreaming. Look at the speed of 48. He's got the draft. He just sort of like a slingshot.
This is fantastic. I mean, one of the things these guys are actually doing, they're managing to carve each other up, but still carry some speed through the corner so they can carve the next person up down the straight. You have a look at the momentum build from Liam Foster in the red car in second. It's just building on Brodie, and he's dragging Hendel-Cox with him.
Yeah, it's like that. That is that classic example of why this is such a great class to learn how to go racing. All the slipstream, the drafting, you get that slingshot of power. Running wide out of turn 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All on the same lap. 7 cars. 2 laps to go. Great racing. What a way to start. Remember how they finished last year? It was a fantastic display of car control.
You remember these guys are wheel to wheel doing about 170 k an hour down the front straight. And they don't want to give an inch, that's for sure.
But good racing room, good respect, good clean passing. And good patience where they pick their place and pounce.
It's really good to see that they're giving each other racing room. There's no biffo out there, not barging each other off, so it's really, really fantastic to see.
Now they're all lining up. This is all the positional game. Cat and mouse lining up for that last lap. Who's going to get the slingshot? Along this straight, along the back straight, and first of all along the front straight to make that pass down into 1, to make the pass into the hairpin, or to make the pass around Higgins, and all that desperate last lap lunge out of turn 7. Don't go wide, take the checkered flag, booyah, rock and roll. We're getting set.
I tell you what, you reckon they can't pass between Go Media and the start-finish line? I bet they can.
Yeah, they'll try to. So Hendel-Cox, he's holding them off. Last lap board coming out. Here they go. They're all doing about the 124s at the moment. Can he hold on? Reese Hendel-Cox started from pole. McConkey says, no, I'm going to take the slipstream and take second, take the lead. Oh, they just touch wheels. Hendel-Cox keeps second though, from under pressure from Billy Fraser. Will he come back through Splash? That's what he did last time. McConkey's got the lead. Can he hang on now? Hendel-Cox is going to get that draft. Fraser Foster sitting in behind. Boniface, Simon, Amy Smith. Up around, last time around the hairpin.
Now, if we're talking championship, Reese Hendel-Cox v Chris Simon, there's 3 spots there. That might change now that Thomas Boniface has run wide, but
Chris Simon's got a bit of a draft here. He wants to try and make up a spot. Reese Hendel-Cox has got McConkey's got a good lead out there. So Reese Hendel-Cox is now under pressure from Billy Fraser, Foster. There's Simon trying to make the move on Boniface. He can't do so at the moment. He hasn't got that speed in that machine. Here we go. Look at this. Taking the inside defensive line. If you're going to slipstream me, you're going to go round the outside. McConkey lays down the challenge. Hendel-Cox says, I'm up for it. Here they are, 2 wide, coming out of 7. Stay on the ripples. Don't go wide. They've all done it. Down to the line. Sprint finish. Reese Hendel-Cox, slipstream, gets the draft, takes the checkered flag. You booty.
how's about that, Clint? That's not bad.
What a way to start the racing. Great stuff. Poor old Brodie McConkey did everything right, then got caught right at the end on the last minute, the last line, and the last corner.
Even for the back of the top 10, they're all following each other. Great battles all the way through.
good to see Brodie McConkey back in there racing too as he slides. They're doing a couple of fun drifts, aren't they? You know, after all helping out Chris Simon last weekend, and he's done some good racing around here too. He's had a pole and a couple of wins this time last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's a bit of a larrikin, as old Brodie McConkey, doing some sliding through splash there, but he's a very, very capable driver, and to take it to Reece Hendelcox, who's dominated the last 4 races, is just showing how close this championship and how close this racing is.
So just confirming that result, Reece Hendelcox gets the win, started from pole. He's the man who started with a 21-point lead in the championship, 23. Brodie McConkey on the Kapiti Coast. He comes home in second. Billy Fraser, number 14, one of the teenagers out of Auckland, comes in third, followed by Liam Foster, Thomas Boniface, who extends his lead in the battle of the rookies. Chris Simon, second in the championship, coming home in P6, almost restarted.
Yes, no, he won't be happy about that, old Chris Simon, but hopefully he can sort of regain a bit of speed in that car, and we can have this championship battle on for tomorrow.
Certainly is. Well, it's a very entertaining way to start the racing, and no doubt it's only going to get better over the rest of the weekend as the teams go to work. And what do you do now on the cars? Just have a sort of a debrief, have a quick look, and then get them set up for... do you do a lot of preparation work for tomorrow today, or do you do it first thing in the morning?
Personally, I'm going to do a lot today because I don't like early mornings. Having to race at 9 o'clock in the morning is a bit hard on some of us, but we'll debrief with our drivers down at Sabre Motorsport, see what the cars are doing, see how their race was going. Can we improve the car? Can we improve them and their racecraft? And really just hope that we can improve them for tomorrow, because we've obviously got 2 races tomorrow and 16 laps essentially to make their way right through to the front, and hopefully we can get the likes of Ronan Murphy and Nathan Cedunio personally for our cars going faster. But there'll be all the crews down there will be trying to make all these cars hopefully get up the pointy end, and we should have some more fantastic Formula First racing tomorrow.
Well, we started with qualifying with High Q Components Formula First this morning at 9 o'clock. Started with racing today at 1:40, and we will start with racing tomorrow again at 9 o'clock. And also we will start with racing tomorrow afternoon. So it's a great way for Formula First to be the first formula to set the scene and say, boys, we're only teenagers, this is how you do it.
Exactly. We might whinge a little bit about getting up early, but we love being first. We love being part of the showcase that is the Grand Prix meeting, and hopefully the crowd's been entertained by our racing, and we can do it again tomorrow. Certainly.
The first people to send it to the checkered flag. Stick around. Coming up next, we'll be back on track with the Trade Zone GT3 GT4 Championship.
Plus, you can win your first bet to play by. You can be supplied and
Right, just about set to go racing for the Trade Zone GT3, GT4 Championship. And joining us, we have Teresa Knight and also Scotty Smith. And on the front of the grid, it is not the Lane and Shane show. They're behind each other. It's going to be Richard Wagstaff from Harwater in 619, that little wee Toyota that's going to upset the get-go as they line up now. Safety car's going to take off. What's the format for this, guys?
This is the scratch race, so it's everyone goes together off the lights. Still gridding up at the moment though, but yeah, everyone goes, and first is first, pretty much.
Now, the first part of the grid, 17 is Shane Whitley, 619 is Richard Wagstaff, 00 is the Ford Mustang of Lane Collier, 49 should be Andrew Stewart in P4, but he's got a new car. He's got that lovely Datsun 1200 coupe. He wants to race down the back of the field, so he's gone from P4 to go down to the back of the field to give himself absolutely no pressure from the start line, because he doesn't want that any issues with the start. And that's the reason why, because he's having problems starting the car.
So they're pushing him back into the pit lane now,
So that's the reason why he wanted to go out of P4, because he knows it's not the best starting machine. Once it goes, it goes. It's very, very quick.
he might even get a pit lane start now, something different. Got him into the pit lane safely, so that's good. We can start racing.
So the red lights are on, and we're away, and Richard Wagstaff, he's just wagged the tail and gone big. Down to the first corner. Carswell's got up there in the little wee batty.
Mr. Whitley was asleep on the line.
Shane Whitley and Lane Collier, the Lane and Shane show, here they are.
It was nice of Shane to wait for Lane. He's really good like that.
And now they're going to bulldoze their way through 2 and into 3 behind each other. Bailey Walker wants a piece of the action in the number 11 Evo. But Richard Wagstaff from Harwater, the local Toyota man, he's got that little wee Toyota, and he said, booyah, rock and roll, see you later.
Phenomenal start.
What are you going all about?
Lane Collier's got a new battle mate here.
Yes.
No, goodbye.
So Lane Collier making the move on Bailey Walker, number 11, around the outside. He's the man from Takanini in the 00 Ford Mustang. So watch out for his battle with number 17, Shane Whitley. They're the guys who currently are dominating the GT3 Championship. Drew Jeffrey, 118. He's the man who's further back down the field, dominating the GT4 Championship, points-wise.
So yeah, he's got 5 cars to play with this weekend, Drew. He wasn't sure if he was happy about it or not, having to actually work for some points this weekend. So
qualifying time, Richard Wagstaff was doing a 1:15.7, so they're just warming into it at the moment. They'll get up to that 1:15 mark. At the moment, it's 1:19.9.
yeah, so Richard's elected to come back from GT2 where he wasn't quite cutting it, so he's gone back this round and decided that he's going to run with GT3, and he's obviously doing a great job there, currently leading in that little MRS turbo.
Remember, the breakout times for these classes is 1:15, so they were right on that breakout time. As we have a look at some of the other cars further back down the field, going on to the Denny Holmes Straight. It's all about variety in this class, isn't it? Look at that.
A fair bit of variety out there.
It's a bag of all sorts. Shame that the old little Datsun hasn't managed to get going again. Not sure what his troubles were.
Mark Allen, 93, one of the local racers from Feilding, getting the car out of the shed and taking the opportunity to go racing on his home track at mighty Manfeild Circuit Crusamon, which is great to see. There it is there. Is that a Vauxhall?
Yeah, where's our entry list?
Lane and Gary Carswell having a good battle now, so
It's a Vauxhall Firenze. Orange, MM5.
Oh, that's right, we needed that. A Vauxhall.
619, Richard Wagstaff, a 1:15.3. So he's quicker than his qualifying time, a 1:15.7. Shane Whitley's going to warm into it. He's did a 1:15.5. Now closing it on second spot. And his qualifying time was a 1:15.2. So they've got the heat into those tyres. Now the road is starting to react. And we're starting to see some real speed from these cars as they spread out down the back straight. Well, the Denny Holmes straight going in to Higgins. Collier trying to make a move on Gary Carswell. Always quick, number 58, little wee batty. So here's some of these Bailey Walker. There's this 93, the Vauxhall. What a cool looking machine that is. Looks like a hybrid, doesn't it? Look at the big rear wing.
You definitely have a second glance at it when you see it for the first time. You're like, what actually is that?
Looks like a Tirana sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that's why I was having a look. Number 69.
John Telford.
Good to see John back racing with us. John's raced with us in the past, so like he's saying, he hasn't had that car out for a little while, so he should have had square tyres on it when he went out this morning, but coming along nicely now, he said.
Is that just the old Commodore? No?
It's a GTO, Mitsubishi GTO.
Mitsubishi, yeah.
Don't see too many of them around.
No. Good sports car in their day. Bailey Walker making a
all
move on the
over him.
Vauxhall.
Bailey is all over the back of John, around through the corners, and then get into the straights.
This little Honda Civic just doesn't quite have the legs, so
There we
he'll get
go.
past him
He's
in the
got to
corners, but then the
wait
power
for the
of the GTO in the straight will swallow him up again. I've sort of been watching the last 3 laps, and it happens every time.
Oh, has he got a big enough gap this time?
When the boost comes on, there it is, and he's got him again.
Gee, look at that GTO. It's got a fair bit. It's got its own
I
slingshot.
think it's a GT Go.
GT Go.
GT Go, yes.
Oh, no, he's
Will he have it
He's
going
got
around
enough
the Go
gap
Media
there.
corner?
Yeah, definitely winds it up down those straights.
Let's not tell my partner about this because he won't be converting his GTO into a race car.
Should be encouraging him.
Good racing. Still Wagstaff out in front. Whitley. They're both doing 15.3s at the moment, so neck and neck. Carswell's doing 15.3. He's on 3rd spot at the moment, holding off the battle against Lane Collier. But Richard Wagstaff, the Toyota man, loves this little car. And he's quite happy to upset Shane Whitley, the Lane and Shane show, as he calls it.
So, well, I think we've got number 86, Brett Sallin, and the nicely prepared 86 coming first in the GD4 class at the moment. So, looks like
We'll get a shot of him. He's one of the Toyota guys, a 3.5 litre V6 Toyota 86 he uses for Targa racing. Also does a lot of the Lexus lunchtime rides as well. We'll see a shot of that one. That's number 86 in the rear, 86. Here they are, the GTO. Look at that Vauxhall. Doing a great job going around the outside at Higgins, a local man. Mark Allen. Then Murray Bell.
Murray Bell will get into that. He'll have a piece of that. Great shots there.
Murray Bell on the 110 Ford Falcon. That's one of the new cars. The 69's doing a great job at the moment. John Telford. Vauxhall coming under pressure from Murray Bell. Some of these guys, good to see them out racing here in the GT3, GT4 Championship as the leaders have cleared off. Wagstaff slowly being hauled in by Whitley.
Yeah, so those front boys will definitely be driving to a time now. They won't want to be
see,
going.
Twitchy coming out of the corner there. Murray Bell getting it a little bit sideways.
Oh, three-wheeling out of it. Still getting used to this car. It's a good-looking field we've got here this weekend.
Battles within battles out there, which is good. Good to see everyone's getting a bit of racing in.
You've got an issue. Old Wagstaff.
Richard Wagstaff.
He's pulled off the circuit.
And looks like it's wagged the tail.
With 5 to go, he had enough.
Which is very unfortunate. He's pulled off, I think, in a pretty safe area. Don't think it's going to bring out the Lexus safety car, is it?
Behind the marshal court there, so reasonably safe.
So that means at 17, Shane Whitley who inherits the lead from 58, Gary Carswell. Further back down the field, there's a nice, cool-looking car as well. So Toby Annabelle, Murray Bell, and that Scott Electrical Ford Falcon, doing a bit of double duty as well, getting plenty of lap times. First of the GT4s, is that still 86? Brett Sellens.
Yep.
From the Manawatu. We'll get a shot of him at some stage too, because it's a pretty cool looking 86. Pumped up Targa mobile. Here's How this is a fairly new car, isn't it? This one, the black one.
The 110, yep. Murray Bell's new one, yep. So this is
110 or?
the second round. 110, yep. Murray Bell.
110.
And we've also got 25 out there of Justin.
McElroy doing a good job and also racing in the B&T V8. Here's your leader, Shane Whitley, the man who leads the series from Pukekohe in the Ford Fairmont. 5-point lead over the 00 Ford Mustang of Lane Collier. So this is going to be good for his championship because at the moment Collier can't keep up with Gary Carswell. 3 laps to go. Whitley a 1:15.2, Carswell a 1:15.2, Collier a 1:15.3.
So they've just backed it down a little bit from what they're doing in lap 3 and 4. So whether Gary can close this gap with 4 to go, 3 to go.
Always does a nice job, Gary Carswell, with his car, isn't it? Always nicely prepared. This is a great shot of how that track flows here at Manfeild. Look at the cambered corners out of 2, 3 into 4 round of the hairpin. Beautiful track, great to drive on. Then you've got these short, sharp straights, really get your speed up. Challenge the drivers, keep them thinking, keep the tyres sweating. It's going to be interesting to see what were the drivers thinking about the track as it changes, as the heat comes on this afternoon.
Yeah, they were happy with it this morning compared to yesterday, but yeah, we'll have to speak to them afterwards. Obviously the lap time saying it's probably not as good as it was.
Justin's just gone off for a little bit of forward driving over there.
So just coming out of Higgins, he won't be the only one to do that today. There's been 2 or 3 just putting the foot down coming out of the Higgins and getting done. 108 and 121 back down the field. 108 is Sean Brown and Robin Greenland with the GD4s.
Battle of the GD4 Giants.
Oh, he's going to get him.
It's been switching back and forth, these two. The Mini won't give up, as we've seen from other rounds.
So we've got a little bit of a change. We had Robin in front of Drew at Hampton.
Yes. Yeah.
But we've got a bit of a home advantage here for Drew.
Or he's just got the car tweaked up. Robin Greenland, number 121. Yes, he was very quick at Hampton. But now all of a sudden he's under pressure. Scoots around the outside. His time at the moment, he's done a 1:24.2. Drew Jeffrey a 1:22.28.
What have we got?
1:22.
I need to get the last lap board ready, so we're not too far away from the last lap. Can the Mini 121 catch up to Drew? Drew will be looking in his mirrors, hoping not.
There's the leader, Shane Whitley, the GT3 Fairmont. Nice racing lines. Be interesting to see what happened to Richard Wagstaff. So Shane Whitley comes across, takes the last lap board. There's the rest of the field. So Collier, who's 5 points behind in the championship, looks like he's just got up against Gary Carswell and has made the pass stick going into turn 1 Toyota. But Carswell's going to come back as they race through the slower traffic. Whitley under control at the moment. Number 17, the Ford Fairmont, going into the hairpin. Collier coming out of 3 into 4, going into the hairpin.
Yeah, he'll be quite keen to put some cars between him and Shane. Close as he can get to him, the better for his championship, keep it alive.
Gary Carswell is shadowing him all the way. But now he's got the big Stang wound up along the straight going into Higgins. Looks like he's got a bit more speed than that car. Just starting to come on a bit more.
He'll be wishing it was another couple of laps because I think he is slowly getting reeling Lane in.
So we're back to the Lane and the Shane and Lane show. Remember they crashed the last time out at Hampton Downs and they've made up a little wee trophy slinging off with their mates to each other. But it's going to be Shane Whitley, number 17 from Pukekohe, gets the win, extends his lead in the championship. His main rival and challenger and good mate Lane Collier comes home in second to keep them honest. So the 5-point lead will be extended, but by not too much. Gary Carswell, number 58, is going to round out the top 3. Good scrap down to the line. The GT Go is going to hold on to it. From a flying Bailey Walker in front of them, John Telford and Murray Bell. Mark Allen in the Vauxhall, Toby Annabelle, very cool car. Justin McElroy and Brent Salon's in the 86, the 3 litre. Going to cross the start-finish line now, the 3.5 litre Targa car from the man from the Manawatu and Palmerston North, who works for Toyota. Does a great job as well. And really enjoying his driving out there on race day here at Mighty Manfeild Circuit, Chris Amon.
Yep, all well behaved, and now they're going to recover Mr. Wagstaff's for the old MRS, see what was wrong there.
Hopefully nothing too bad, so we can get him back out tomorrow morning. We will all be revealed.
Well, he's a good man for the parts of the service, so he should be able to fix his own car, so get it sort of ready to rock and roll. And you guys will be back around about 10 to 3 for the big showdown, Trade Zone GT1, GT2. Can Cameron Jones from Manfeild, local man from Palmerston North, can he take it to the neighbours from over there in Taranaki and the Crawfords?
I'm sure he'll be giving it his best shot.
So stick around, that's still to come. We'll be back with Teresa and Scotty a little bit later on. But hang around, coming up next, opening race of the weekend over 12 laps. The Teen Titans, young stars and their cool cars, get ready to race in the Toyota 86 Championship. That's next up here. Don't forget you can do live streaming via YouTube. Just go to SpeedWorks. When we go to the Castrol Toyota Racing Series, just switch up to Toyota Racing Series. And you can follow the action. Don't forget $5, get yourself a program. Download the SpeedWorks app. Everything you need to know and want to know about the motor racing this weekend is right there at your fingertips on your phone. Getting set to go racing with the Toyota 86 Championship, and don't forget, when it comes to fast cars, you can do them on the track, but when it comes to a really good, reliable car on the road, Amiga Rental Cars is one of New Zealand's largest independently owned rental car companies with 11 branches nationwide. They've been renting cars and involved in motorsport for 25 years and known for their upfront and honest approach to car rentals. Don't forget, a special deal for all petrol heads. For motorsport fans and competitors, just use the promo code MSPORT and you can save yourself 10% when you book your next rental car with Omega. Just visit omegarentalcars.com. Right, Jeff Short, who's our series promoter from SpeedWorks, joins us back again. Good to see the crowd building here at mighty Manfeild, taking advantage of that good local offer for all the race fans in the Manawatu to come along and enjoy a day's action here at Manfeild Circuit Chrysamon as we get set to go with the opening race of the weekend, round 5, the Toyota 86 Championship. And what a close, exciting showdown it's going to be, Jeff.
Yeah, look, absolutely. There's nothing in these times, and the guys up front have got a lot to play for here.
So it's going to be a standing start. And the man to watch on the front row of the grid is 53, Jaden Ramsley from Christchurch. 18, Aaron Crichton, one of the Care Vets cars. Then 9, Connor Adam. 17, Callum Hedge. 97, Callum Campbell Stewart. 23, Jordan Baldwin, who currently leads the series by 13 points. So he's got a disadvantage there and a bit of work to do back in P6. Then it's Gilchrist, Jacob Cranston, 31, one of the local drivers from Palmerston North to watch out for. 84, Peter Vodanovic, who joined us with commentary in the Sangyon Action Utes, and now he's behind the wheel, along with Callum Hedge, some of the young stars. 15, Caleb Natar from Martin, Sam Wright, Connor Davison, Justin Allen, Andrew Jackson and Leo Bolt, who joined us for all the information about the mighty Masters. And here they are enjoying their racing with the Dark Horse team, now switching to the Toyota 86 Championship. So about 5 seconds to go. Red lights are on. Time to go racing in the 86s at mighty Manfeild Circuit Chrysamon, and Jaden Ramsley in the Miles Toyota 53 gets it down from the get-go. The 2 Care Vets cars on the outside, Connor Adam on the inside as they turn into turn 1 around Toyota. 2 wide. They'll come down via splash and set themselves up for the hairpin. Good tight racing at the moment. Quality right from the get-go. 2 wide. Hedge ducks down the inside, rolls it over into turn out of 3 into 4. Now they're going around that hairpin. Neat, tidy racing so far. Justin Allen getting a bit of drive.
Great start from not Vodanovic, Campbell Stewart up into 4th place. Just went the wide line. Now he's got a good run off that corner.
So Callum Hedge has made a good move. Aaron Crichton's in there. Connor Adam. Stewart. Round Higgins for the opening lap. All bunched out, trying to find some racing room down that lovely big long back straight. They'll sweep round to turn 7. 53, Ramsley. 18, Crichton. 17, Hedge. Stewart under attack now, being swamped. Jordan Baldwin coming back into the picture. One of them's gone wide, exceeding the track limits around turn 7. So he may be pinged for that.
Yeah, look, only if they're deemed to have an advantage, Clint. So we'll see what they say about that.
Right, so we'll just Connor Adam in the post-haste car, making a move around turn 1. Oh, we've got 2 or 3 being turned around.
Jordan Baldwin, unfortunately, getting turned around.
So it's not a great start to the weekend for the championship leader. Coming out of turn 1, he's being turned around, and now he finds himself at the rear of the field.
Yep, championship leader. He's got some work to do to get back and consolidate points.
So suddenly it's game on and advantage to number 53, Jaden Ramsley from Neil Motorsport out of Christchurch. He's only 13 points behind in the championship. And now he's got a big field of cars between him and Jordan Baldwin. One of them's going slow along the back straight, is that?
I think he might have a flat tyre or something.
Campbell?
That's Campbell Stewart.
So he made a good start, and now he's got something wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he got tangled up in that action down at corner 1.
Couple of cars making a move down towards turn 7. Big, bold racing. Caleb Natar in there, number 15. Ramsley, Crichton.
Brock Gilchrist up to 5th place. Right. Yep. Here's Peter Vodanovic up the inside of Justin Allen.
Down into turn 1, Vodanovic. Can he make that move stick? This is the guy that started his racing from the PS4 simulator. Now he's doing the real thing and doing a great job. He is the real thing, the real deal.
Some real bunches forming here, that first group of 4.
So we've got a couple of battle packs, the top 4 at the moment. Ramsley, Crichton, Hedge and Adam. They've got a gap in the field, and then basically it's Gilchrist, Nartar. Then we've got Vidanovic, Allen, Cranston. It's a couple of the local boys side by side having their own. Who's going to be the battle of the locals? Justin Allen, 99, and right behind him, Jacob Cranston, 31.
You've got Sam Wright and Connor Davison, the 2 Carters, young Carters that are doing a great job out there as well. And then the 2 Dark Hills boys that are finding their way.
Yeah, let's have a look. Leo Bolt and Andrew Jackson.
Andrew's Leo's future son-in-law and I believe he was half a second quicker in qualifying, but there's certainly nothing in it right now.
So Cranston's got past Justin Allen. So that's the battle of the boys from Palmerston North and Feilding. No change out in front. The fastest lap, a 1:19.9.53, Jaden Ramsley. Got a nice handy lead at the moment. Crichton's done a 1:20 point flat. He's been very smooth though. Connor Adams got up into 3rd ahead of 17 Callum Hedge though. That switched around. Nartar doing well from Gilchrist.
Yeah, he got past Brock. You got Peter Vidanovic right on his tail as well.
So they're making a nice little wee battle, those 3 young racers, all teenagers. Then Cranston from Palmerston North leading out Justin Allen. Whole stack of cars on that far side. Having a look down the inside, Brock Gilchrist going into Higgins, taking advantage of one of the great corners of New Zealand motorsport, where you can make a pass and use that camber, use that mid-corner speed and get the drive down onto the straight. But he's been swamped at the same time.
Bit of bump draft going on there by the look of it.
So Gilchrist, Nartar, Vidanovic, 2 wide coming onto the main straight. He at least had a couple of wheels on the ripples. Great scrap as they fly down into turn 1. Toyota, who's going to hold on? Who's going to send it down the inside? Nartar's going to hold on here. Vidanovic is going to go wide. Gilchrist. Oh, good work, Peter Vidanovic. Going to send it down into Splash and make that spot. Good racing.
Another fastest lap time for Jaden Ramsley, just extended that lead a little bit. A couple of tenths quicker than Aaron Crichton.
So it's a 1:19.6. Crichton a 1:19.8. Connor a 1:19.7.
So he took a tenth out of Aaron in that last lap. He'll be obviously trying to hunt him down.
Callum Hedge a 1:19.9. So 3 tenths between the top 4. That is close. Basically a car length, isn't it? Basically, couple.
Yeah, certainly nothing in it, and you can see the next pack are just as close. And 2 lots of 3. Caleb Nartar leading Vidanovic. Next is Brock and young Jacob Cranston, who did exceptionally well here earlier on. He's going to be chasing them down too. There you go, fastest lap to Connor Adam in a 19.3. Just pulled half a second back on Aaron Crichton, so I'd say the blowtorch is going to be on this lap.
One man who's coming under a bit of pressure is 99 Justin Allen. He's been passed by a couple of cars now, and so he's just sort of moving out of the way of Sam Wright, number 7, in that Tony Richards Toyota, but now he's pulling back a bit, so coming under the clutches you'll see the 2 Andrew Jackson, also Leo Bolt at the rear of the field. Guys just really enjoying their motor racing. They're doing their own thing down the back of the field. You've got the other guys at the front of the field pushing as hard and fast as they can. Leo and Andrew Jackson. So here they are all lining up along the straight, the Denny Holmes straight, trying to make their positioning going into Higgins. And Ramsley, being one of the real improvers in the series. Big, tall, gangly teenager.
Yeah, look, he came to us at the age of 14. Hadn't done a lot of racing in the car. He certainly done a fantastic job and was a contender last season, was unlucky. This year he's right in amongst it. Here's a go. Got Connor putting the pressure on Crichton. Down he goes up the inside. He has sent it, you're right, Clint, but he's got to give him racing room, so just see what the run off the corner is like.
There it is, post-haste. Welcome back, Connor.
Aaron's got the inside line, but he hasn't got an overlap, so now Connor manages to get that position.
So there he is, he's sent it down the inside and he's made the pass stick. That's one of the makeable passes. So good skills, and now he's going to hold on to that defensive line through turn 4 around the hairpin. Aaron Crichton, he's going really well. Callum Hedge sweeping out onto that back straight. So can Connor Adam keep this momentum going and regain his speed that he showed in the opening rounds of the Toyota 86 Championship?
Caleb Nato showing some good speed there at 19.9.
So there's our leaders. Jaden Ramsley, 53. 6 laps to go. Be 5 after this. Connor Adam, the man on the move. What's his speed? He's on a 1:19.3 or 1:19.5, so he's quick at the moment, quickest out there. Has he got time to close the gap on Ramsley? That's possibly the next big question.
He's lost 3 tenths on that lap. 19.6 for Jaden on the last lap, as opposed to a 19.9 and a 20.6 for Aaron Crichton. So
Ramsley can see him coming. 31. Cranston having a move down the inside of Gilchrist.
Yep.
He's been another one of the young kids really to improve his performance throughout the 86 Championship, which is what this championship is all about, isn't it? It's great.
Yeah, look, all these young carters, obviously Cranston, Gilchrist, Sam Wright and Connor Davison, they're all come fresh out of carts and doing a great job out here.
Then you get the likes of Natar coming out of Formula First
and go-karting.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was a thrilling Formula First race to start off the racing this afternoon, and then they progress into classes like the Tin Tops, the 86s, very cool sports car, 2-litre, big on brakes, good horsepower, great handling, but it's all about your racecraft, your learning, your positioning, your slipstreaming and drafting, and your setup, working with your race engineers.
Cranston's got a run on Peter Vodanovic up the inside.
Here they go.
Go medium. Now can he hold that off? Yeah.
He's sent it down the inside.
Middle of the corner, but
nice.
You're going to have to get across and protect that inside line, which he does.
And they're all doing a good job not exceeding the limits coming out of turn 7, aren't they? Staying on the ripples, keeping at least 2 wheels on that exit of turn 7. Down to turn 1. Cranston, Vodanovic.
Cranston just posted his fastest lap time of 19.7 in the last lap.
And you can see how they just get into a nice rhythm away from some of the other cars and just start racing their own race.
A battle between the ex-Mazda guys. We've got
Justin Allen, and who's in front of him now? Andrew Jackson.
Andrew's managed to get ahead of him, so I'm sure that he'll be quite delighted about that.
Yeah, so Andrew Jackson, here he is. He's in the number 21 car. He's going to make a move on Sam Wright as they head up towards Higgins. The rest of the field are in front of them. They're continuing their little wee battle. Cranston, Vodanovic, Gilchrist. They're going on to the back straight. Further back down the field, you've got other guys from the Mazdas into the 86s. And Justin Allen certainly nowhere near as quick as he was earlier today. He hasn't really got that 99 car firing up like he did down the South Island. Vodanovic, though, doing a great job.
Connor Adam a couple of tenths quicker than Jaden in that lap. 19.8 versus a 19.6. And the boys behind have just sort of stretched back out to 20.3. Going to be interesting to see here what happens with this Corvettes team, whether there'll be any instructions. Obviously we've got Callum Hedge, he's a contender for this championship, and teammate right in front of him, whether there'll be any sort of team orders to give him those extra points that he might need to win this championship.
Callum Hedge currently has 712 points, and Aaron Crichton is in 7th with 484, and Callum Hedge currently 3rd, 712. So That's the difference in the point structure.
There you
Down
go,
the inside.
Andrew Jackson,
yeah,
on
good
Sam
work.
Wright, but Sam Wright's going to have a run back off the corner. It'll be a big drag down to Higgins.
Now they can go too wide around Higgins. This is going to be great.
Yeah, you want the inside line though, unfortunately.
Well, let's see. Who's going to send it? Down the inside, round the outside. He's going to try and crisscross. Now they're going to go down to round the back straight. Who's got the inside line for turn 7?
Yeah, Andrew's managed to get back across the inside line to protect that.
Sam Wright looking, searching. Going to try. Oh, has a look down the inside. Bold move. Then decides, no, I'll just bide my time.
Bad sportsman flag out for somebody, maybe exceeding track limits.
Just running a bit wide coming out of turn 7.
Or is it number 9?
Number 9, Connor Adam.
Yeah, so I'd say that's for exceeding track limits.
Just be a warning.
Yep, it will be a warning.
So Jaden Ramsley, 53. Connor Adam, 9. Andrew Jackson, 21. Going through Splash. He's holding off Sam Wright, Justin Allen, Leo Bolt, Jordan Baldwin. Yes, the battle of the cats, the leopard and the tiger. Oh, that's the address. That's the team orders for 17 to go and pass 18.
Yeah, look, not sure. I mean, it would be a clever thing to do if you were wanting to win this championship. I think that's the right thing to do.
Remember number 17, Callum Hedge, currently 3rd in the championship with 712 points and 18. Aaron Crichton, 484, currently in 4th.
Last lap board coming out.
7th. So they've made that move to protect the 3rd spot on the championship for Callum Hedge. Now Aaron's going to remind him. I moved over for you, buddy, but now you're going to make it work.
Yeah.
There is the man of the moment, number 53, Miles Toyota. Not Miles in front, but he's got a nice little wee buffer.
Yeah, comfortable lead there. Unfortunately for Jordan Baldwin, he's made a bit of a comeback, but
Must have an issue with that car because it's certainly not going anywhere near as fast as it was. So it's going to be a change in the championship here.
yeah, well, he had a wee tap in the rear wheel, so whether that's not quite tracking right or he's still got the pace to get back on the back of the guys here at the rear of the field.
And that could all go back to just not qualifying up the front of the field, being back in P6 was where suddenly you're under the clutches of the unknown.
He got a pretty good start. He just unfortunately got tangled in amongst, not sure exactly what went on there, but he was getting pushed sideways and then sort of managed to hang on to it, and I think got a wee tap and turned him around with somebody else coming through the field.
So that's bad luck for the series leader, Jordan Baldwin, the man who says thanks very much. I'll turn that into good luck. Jaden Ramsley from Christchurch, Neil Motorsport, checkered flag time. He had a win down south, he has a win up north. He's back in the winner's circle. Connor Adam, good to see him back in that podium place. Callum Hedge coming home along with his Care-Vets teammate, 3rd and 4th. Natar and Vidanovic having a good scrap. Cranston's up there as well into P6. Gilchrist, fastest lap of the race at 1:19.6.
19.3, I think I saw. 19.3 Connor Adam, he was quickest.
Yes, a 1:19.330. Connor Adam Ramsley, 1:19.6, but consistently right up there in those 19s.
Good to see Caleb Natar. He's certainly got the car going how it should be, and he's right up there and amongst it too now, so I'll expect things out of the next race from him too.
So you got Christchurch, Auckland, then Martin, Palmerston North, Auckland. So a bit of variety there amongst the races.
Yeah, we need some more South Island guys. We've had a few right at the front of the field from Christchurch, but we need a few more South Island guys coming and running in this class. Certainly, if you're out there watching this, come and join us.
What's the process to come and join you, Jeff? How do you get involved and go racing with the Toyota 86 Championship?
Look, we have a couple of we've got a lease car and we've got a test car, so there's opportunities to come and have a test, see what it's all about, and see whether you think it's something that you want to do. So we have that opportunity. You can get in contact with me. otherwise, there's cars available. There'll be guys that'll graduate out of the series this year. There's at least three of them that'll move on. So there's some second-hand cars that'll be on the market at the end of the season. We've got new cars in the workshop all ready to go. So, yeah, great series, and certainly I've got an incredible amount of interest already for next year. Very happy to announce that Toyota New Zealand and SpeedWorks have supported the Pro Kart series. Toyota New Zealand have signed up as a naming rights sponsor, so we're going to be at the Pro Kart series next weekend. So we'll be out there talking to all of the sort of budding race drivers for the future.
And I see that the 86 is going to get a bit of a revamp coming soon. It's going to get a nice new look. It's going to look very, very sporty. That's brand new to me there, Brownie. So Toyota 86 reaffirmed to have second generation on the way, and it looks, judging by the pictures released from overseas at various motor shows, very, very souped up. Very much not quite as cool as, well, it's going to be very, very cool, but of course the Supra's the big talking point at the moment amongst everyone at Toyota. But there you go, that's what the 86 is going to look like.
It does look very cool.
Doesn't it?
Wonder if we can modify all our cars to look like that.
I'm quite sure you will. And of course, you're all based at Hampton Downs, aren't you?
Yeah, look, we've got a fantastic workshop facility there, and Toyota's commitment to the sport has been absolutely unparalleled in New Zealand. No one's put in the commitment that they have, and it's certainly fantastic to have that sort of support for these young drivers to have a formula like this to go racing.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jeff Short from SpeedWorks. Don't forget, download the app, speedworksevents.co.nz. Everything you need to know, and very exciting about the 86 Championship, that new look car coming in a couple of years, no doubt. And of course, the Supra coming this year. Everyone from Toyota is very excited about that 3-litre 6-cylinder twin turbo beast. Very cool looking car. Talking about cool cars, they're back on track, and the car to watch is number 1 Glenn Smith from Taranaki. So this is the battle of the Crawfords up against Cameron Jones, who's the local man from mighty Manawatu. He's in the big Mazda. So Scotty, you're back, mate. How are you, champ?
I'm back, yeah, good.
So Teresa's organising everyone down below, is she?
No, she's just on her way. She's putting back all the paperwork back together, which is just next door, so she'll be here momentarily.
So we'll just give you the background about number 1, the Elf Porsche of Glenn Smith. He set the all-time lap record at Pukekohe in the opening round of the SpeedWorks Motorsport Championship back in December. A 51.6. Then he blew it up. Big pile of smoke. Maury and the boys have worked really, really hard. They finished the new motor as of Thursday night. Got it here for testing on Friday, yesterday. And here they are racing today.
Yeah, I just had a quick talk to Mr. Smith in between, and he said for some reason the little push to pass button has disappeared off his steering wheel. So he hasn't got that ability anymore. And he said that he's only been fed it slowly, so he sort of said he doesn't expect to break any records this time, but he says look out at Hampton Downs once it's all broken in. He's after Kenny's record. Well,
the last time we went to Hampton Downs, in the last lap of the last race on the Sunday afternoon, he broke 60 seconds. He did a 59.8, I think he did. Kenny Smith, who's going to be racing this weekend, racing this afternoon. In fact, he's going to be racing next up. After that, he's got the all-time lap record at Hampton Downs, which he set a couple of weekends ago in the Formula 5000s, a 59.444444. So no doubt Glenn Smith will want to go back to Hampton Downs in a month's time once he's got the new car all sorted. They had a bit of a shakedown and try and do a 58, but without the push to pass button. That's where you push and you increase the boost.
Increase the boost instantly, yeah.
So that's one of the changes Morris said. It's got a few modifications that we wanted to do, and that is the big one, isn't
Pretty much last time I gave you that button, you wouldn't take your finger off it, and hence we had a fireball. So he's like, we're going to start you back with a brand new motor. You can just have 1,000 horsepower to start with, and then we will see how you go.
So here it is, the Porsche inline 6 twin turbo, 1,000 horsepower. What a piece of machinery. The Daytona prototype. Max Crawford, the Kiwi, built about 16 of these cars, and Glenn was telling us at Hampton Downs there's only about 3 racing, and they're right on the track. There they are.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Something really special for you here at Manfeild. a mobile motoring museum from 2002 to about 2008, I think it was. And then, of course, Cameron Jones, the world's most frustrated
Johnny.
Mazda racer. And
Oh,
look at
no.
Cameron Jones, the local man, 3 wide, down towards Toyota turn 1, Glenn Smith. And
He's
Cameron
not
says,
having
no,
a-
I'm going to outmuscle these Crawfords.
Not having a bar of this. Let me in.
Yes.
Like, you can have that for the first couple of corners, Cameron. That's
Yeah.
fine.
So Cameron's going to say, right, these guys in their cool-looking Crawfords, he'll say they're precious. I'm going to be the monster man from Manfeild. I'm going to charge out in front, be really aggro and aggressive. I'm going to hold you up.
This will be the one there on the straight, whether the horsepower is comparable, and it does look to be reasonably comparable, which is good to see.
Well, I think the reason being he knows it's a new car. He knows he's not going to be able to do the push to pass. Cameron Jones knows that Glenn Smith is just dialing this thing in as where the Ford of Adam Newell and John DeVeth, the Chev, are very, very quick, but not as quick as Glenn Smith. So Cameron has really got stuck into this here right from the get-go
He has.
around. And he said, I'm going to try and bully my way to the front, which is exactly what he's done.
Yeah. No deal.
And Smitty's just pretty much done the exact same thing, hasn't he? Tried to... No.
See, Cameron's going to hold him off, though. He said, buddy, if you got to make the pass, you're going to have to work for it.
Great driving by both of those two, which is awesome. Smitty.
Oh, there'll be talk about this at the barbecue tonight. Who's going to get the pink helmet? Be
Yeah,
great.
we haven't got too many nominees that we know of for that yet. We've been pretty busy so far this weekend, so I'm sure there's some.
I think Jason DeVeth would be quite happy to hand it over to someone.
Yeah, Jason's not here this weekend for some reason.
Oh, he must have given Dad the helmet, though. Please,
Yes,
give that
yeah,
to someone.
yeah.
Get rid of the damn thing. So the pink helmet will tell you what's happening if you don't know. Basically, whoever makes the biggest mistake, silly Wally of the weekend, cock up, you name it, whatever it is, they get the pink helmet. And he put the wrong fuel into the race car.
Smith has the lead back.
He's got
how
the
long?
right fuel, isn't he now? Look at Cam Jones down the inside. Has a look around turn 7. There's that blistering speed of number 1, Glenn Smith. Now he's got it wound up. He says, Cameron, you've had your fun. Now I want to see what this thing can do. So he's got that Porsche 6-cylinder twin turbo beast, making the most of the 1,000 horsepower brand new motor from a Fireball to a Raging Bull. Number 10, always a nicely prepared car. That's Brian Gray.
Johnny DeVeth, number 33, he's thinking, right, I want a bit of this Cameron fella now. I'm going to get up there and have a bit of a go at it.
Tony Anderson doing really well in the number 3, the blue V8, also racing in the B&T V8. So now we've got some real speed out in front. These boys are starting to clock up. Tony Anderson had good speed today. He's at a 109.3 at the moment. He's in the 108s with the B&T V8, so he's got a bit of room to move, a bit of room to boogie with that car. So Glenn Smith, though, coming around the top to complete another lap. Be 7 to go after this. What's his speed now? Across the start-finish line. There's a 103.1. Jones a 104.4. DeVeth a 103.5, and that's why he's putting the pressure.
That's a nice time from Johnny there.
Yeah, he's putting the pressure on Cameron Jones.
He really is.
He's just been getting that one sort of wound up. That's got the Chevy motor in it. Then Adam Newell's behind him. Another one of the Taranaki mates of Glenn Smith. And he's got the Ford motor.
Be able to throw a blanket over the top 3 in GT3 here. They're all within a couple of metres of each other, having a great battle. A couple of Evos, and Broccoli joining us again in that V8 RX-7.
DeVeth, he's got the speed around Higgins. Cam
Right.
Jones says, yeah, you got me, mate. So just moves over, lets him go. He's had his fun. He grabbed the lead. He shocked them from the get-go. But now just the sheer speed of these Crawfords crawling their way back through the field. Glenn Smith, what's he going to do now? Down to the start-finish line.
Got a little battle going on back here with Terry Jones and Bernard. So Terry Jones got the horsepower in the straight line. And Bernard, just every corner we're catching up under brakes.
I think he's a option for Wally of the week. Oh, Bernard, he left his nice new tyres sitting on the floor at home, so now he's
Did he?
trying to get someone to get them to him in the morning. Yeah, thought the tyres he had would last, but he didn't realise which ones they were apparently. So yeah,
they're literally
frantically trying to get some tyres from home to here.
So you're talking about
where's
number
home?
445.
Yeah, Bernard Barrett. Yeah.
Bernard Barrett in the lovely big Mustang. But he's got the wrong set of tyres.
He hasn't got the wrong set, he just hasn't got the optimum set.
Oh, the best set.
The best set. Oh, who's on the wall? Kylie Jury on the wall.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, don't leave braking late down in that corner. It's never going to work
That
out.
is
Oh,
But
so
four-wheel
down to the
drive.
wall, number 66,
Oh, wait.
Kylie Jury.
Re-engineered Evo
Ah.
front
Is that what you're going to call that one?
for Aero.
That's
So
very
sensible-
unusual for Kylie
It is.
to.
Sensibly parks it up out the way, which is good.
It's very
everyone else.
unfortunate. So find out what happened there.
So there's the drama, number 66. He's just gone straight in at the end of the main straight. So either had a braking issue or something's perhaps failed on the car. Further back down the field, now it's Adam Newell. He's a hard case. The hedge man.
He's letting Cameron Jones know that he's there. Cameron's in third in car number 7 at the moment.
So he started in fourth. He bullied his way past the Crawfords. Now he's almost back to fourth again, Cam Jones, in that lovely big Trans Am Mazda from Manawatu, local man. You know this track inside out. Adam Newell, what's he going to do? He's going to have a look down the inside. Cam going to shut the door. Make him work for it down along the main straight.
Tucked up underneath there. Bit of toe.
He's going to hold on to that third spot at the moment, doing a good job. Cameron Jones.
4 to go.
Rest of the field nicely spread out.
We have. Is Tony Patmore still circulating out there?
And
The Porsche.
Porsche.
We've got 2 Porsches out there.
There he is, just going on 1 now. Yep.
Oh, yes.
Tony Patmore, number 44.
He's a bit down the field, so I think we may have had an issue off the start line for Tony. It's good to see him come across and join us for this weekend, though.
Adam Newell working hard, number 68. In that Ford Crawford. Working really hard. Has he got the drive down the inside this time to try and make the pass down the back straight? Cameron Jones says no. Shuts the door again. Great racing. Going to really make him work as they drift on to turn 7. He had 2 wheels there on the thing, so that's okay. Newell having another look down the inside as Carswell is, or Nathan Strachan has a look down the inside in the 35 car.
Yeah, Michael in the 170, yeah, BMW. Bit of traffic now for the boys to contend with.
Oh, nicely done by Cameron Jones. He got one of the slower cars between him and Adam Newell.
Not
This is
for
one
long.
of the great features about Manfeild. Look how much room you've got around that beautiful big hairpin. 2 slower cars in
Oh,
front.
Terry Jones, what are you doing?
Terry using that 4-wheel drive, is he?
And he's just
That's-
gone off coming out of Higgins.
There's so much going on.
And he
he's
is also
off.
pulling off.
So a couple of guys have had moments, a couple of them have pulled off, and well done, out of harm's way. Cam Jones still under pressure. Adam Newell trying to find a way past. 3 laps to go.
You'll probably also find that it's quite hot in cabin as well, and
Yeah, well, he's just waiting for Cam to make a mistake, and we all know that
Thanks.
Cam doesn't make mistakes.
we've got a little battle going on here. Brock Coley is circulating faster than Brad Jesson in the Evo. We'll see if
Number
Brock
11,
can use
Cooley.
his.
Brock does do a little bit of sideways speedway action for us
Yeah,
too,
he's
quite
done
often.
Yep.
Done a lot of racing around here in the V8s as well, so he's got good knowledge of this track up from Wellington. Got good speed down the straight. Now they've got plenty of room to go high and wide. He's going to duck down and try and do the crisscross, or is he going to go wide around Higgins?
Yeah.
And now try and get the drive down the straight. He's got to just go high and wide all the way. Look at the speed.
And then
Smith
Smith.
goes flying through like a rocket.
Where did he come from?
He just came from the straight.
He was out of shot for it.
And Cooley says, yeah, old Cooley, make that pass move, and away we go.
And Veth, last lap forward is this?
Yep, last lap forward. So Cooley
All
moves up.
action. Oh, Adam Newell has pipped Jonesy currently as they come down the front straight here.
So Adam Newell has finally made that pass stick. But Jones is coming back. He's going to try and get him around 2 and 3. But I think he may just have that horsepower. There's John DeVeth. He's the hard case farmer. Loves his motorsport. There's Smith. Look at the speed of that rocket ship. Such a cool looking car. Not too bad. 103.127.
So maybe the track is possibly a little bit slower.
Smoke down there, back straight there. Who have we got?
That's
Bradley Jessup.
Brad Jessup.
That's too much boost for an Evo.
So that's gone. That's blown a turbo by the look of it. And here
Smoking.
comes the leader. Here comes the man of the moment. Welcome back, number 1, Glenn Smith. He wants that number 1. He wants to keep it. 33, John DeVeth
Is that
comes
a-
home in second. Takes the second spot. Adam Newell is going to grab third. Cam Jones will be fourth. Then it's going to be Brian Gray. A sick Tasman Cargo Airlines. Bradley Jessup going to get that straight down to pit lane as quick as he can.
Or just chill out on the side of the track and get a tow back.
He might have to get a tow back there because he's
It's a bit of smoke.
it's certainly given up the go. So let's take
Yep,
a look at
where
the
we
big
going?
incident. So this
Mr.
is
Jury.
This is Kylie.
Jury. Okay, so he must be the last car there.
Jesus.
Something let go. Whoa, whoa.
Oh.
That was quite aggressive. That looks
Hopefully it's
mechanical
okay.
for it to.
He's come from the inside, across the grass, across the track.
Now have a look from the front
How
on.
he-
Something goes here.
Yeah.
Absolute passenger.
Lucky not to pick anyone up.
And then he drives away. Go figure. After all of that.
So we can't actually see
Doors
what
open.
lets go there.
How weird,
But
because suddenly he's
that's-
going straight. He brakes and then just veers straight right.
And manages to gap it between two cars. So
And luckily, missed all of the other cars, caused no carnage, but dumps himself into the tyre wall, which did a great job.
it looks like Terry Jones, number 4.
Here we
So
go.
this is the passing move. If we take a look on the live stream, Adam Newell got that drive.
Just
And a little bit of a touch. Oh,
just letting Cam know that he's there.
yeah, that was going down into splash. Big boys and their big toys.
Yeah, we're going to pull out our tyre wall here.
And then we got the big digger, the big front end loader. Going to
That's
sort
really
out the tyre
unfortunate.
wall.
But
Hopefully there's not too much to repair there, because obviously the Toyotas would like to get out next.
Yes, well, they normally have a bit of a break anyway and clean up the track to make sure that it's all okay for the Castrol Toyota Racing Series. So there's the odd car to be moved, but quickly the recovery guys have got them onto
Hard
the
at
back of the
work.
truck, which is great. Don't forget, great work by all the marshals, all the volunteers. Thanks very much from the Manawatu Car Club and all the locals around here at Manfeild Circuit Chris Amon, all the recovery people and the first responders do a superb job. All of our motor racing officials from Motorsport New
well,
Zealand.
it's a sad looking sight, but I don't think we may not see this car back this season.
Be interesting to see exactly what happened,
Yeah,
what gave way.
This is fuzzy. This is Kylie Jerry. He'll have a part in the car. He'll be out there with a slide hammer tonight. He'll have a spare kit, body kit. It'll be out in the grid tomorrow. Mark
Well,
my words.
You know there's 2 other broken Evos
Well,
in the pit, so we could
Make one.
make 1 out of 3 Evos, possibly 4 Evos.
Yeah, I
if
wouldn't like to have an
Mr.
Evo
Jessup-
in the car park at the moment, because I'll be looking for parts.
You've just made everyone nice and relaxed. Along the spectator back there.
So, who was our first car home in GT2? Was it Brock Coley, number 11?
Yeah, Mr. Brock Coley.
And he managed to not break out, which is even better.
So well done. Exciting stuff there. No surprise about the winner. Few surprises about the drama. So while the recovery crews do their job and get everything set to re-race again, we'll take a short break and we'll count down to the Castrol Toyota Racing Series. So there you go, Teresa. And also Scotty, well done. When are you guys back next? Tomorrow morning?
In the morning, yeah.
We'll go do our grids for our handicap.
And work on the pink helmet.
Work on the pink helmet. And
Could Kylie get that?
Oh, we don't normally. Yeah, we're not normally that mean.
It's a bit tough, especially when your car just decides to turn right.
Unless you've forgotten to do something.
2 days before the corner.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you,
in the
this
morning.
evening for a barbecue.
Excellent. Teresa Knight and Scotty Smith from the Trade Zone GT1 GT2s as we get set for the feature race this afternoon. Race time is now 3 o'clock. And the Castrol Toyota Racing Series over 20 laps set to go around about 15 minutes time. So that'll give all the crews a chance to get prepared, get the track nice and cleaned up for the Toyotas to get out there, the FT50s. After that, we'll have 5 more races, the Nexen Tyre Mazda Pro 7s, NZ V8 Utes Championship over 8 laps, Pirelli Porsches over 8 laps, B&T V8's time to go around about 5 o'clock over 14 laps. And then our second and final showdown of the day between the Sanyong Action Racing Utes. Time to go around about 20 minutes after 5. So stick around. If you want to do the live stream for Toyota, now's the time to switch over to the Toyota Racing channel on YouTube. And coming up next, Jonathan Green and Murray Taylor will be taking you through all the action as we get set to go racing in the opening race of the weekend for the Castrol Toyota Racing Series.